Today's topic is 8 Can't Wait, the background behind this catchy slogan created by the group called Campaign Zero. What Campaign Zero is actually about, since most people don't know, they're actually a project of a group called We the Protesters, and how this 8 Can't Wait campaign can impact policing. My name's Steve Serbalik, and I'm a panel attorney with AsCops in Arizona. Here are the 8 factors that this particular project believes should be incorporated in police use of force policies. 1. Requiring de-escalation, which they define as requiring officers to de-escalate situations where possible by communicating with subjects, maintaining distance, and otherwise eliminating the need to use force. 2. Use of force continuum, defined as establishing a force continuum that restricts the most severe types of force to the most extreme situations, and creates clear policy restrictions on the use of each police weapon and tactic. 3. Banning chokeholds and strangleholds. 4. Require a warning before shooting, which they define as requiring officers to give a verbal warning in all situations before using deadly force. 5. Ban shooting at moving vehicles, defined as an absolute with no exceptions. They insist on a categorical ban. 6. Exhaust all alternatives, defined as requiring officers to exhaust all other alternatives, including non-force and less lethal options, prior to resorting to deadly force. 7. Duty to intervene, defined as requiring officers to intervene and stop excessive force by other officers and requiring immediate reporting to a supervisor. And 8. Require comprehensive reporting, which they describe as requiring officers to report each time they use force or threaten to use force against civilians. They say that comprehensive reporting includes requiring officers to report whenever they point a firearm at someone, in addition to all other types of force. Now, some of these policies are common sense. For example, right now, officers can only use force that is objectively reasonable. This ties in with point 1, de-escalation when possible. But others of these ideas are downright dangerous. Police officers encounter an infinite number of threatening or potentially threatening scenarios, and it's not possible to write a playbook for every situation that officers may encounter. For example, when done properly, tactics like the carotid control technique can be safe and effective, and can save officers' lives. Additionally, while it's great to give warnings when feasible before police officers use deadly force, this isn't always practical. Point 4 is phrased as an absolute. We the Protesters, the group behind this idea, wants officers to face discipline if they don't give a warning before using deadly force in every situation. But if a suspect pulls a gun from a waistband and starts pointing it at the officer isn't going to wait to give commands before he or she uses deadly force. Categorical bans on shooting at any moving vehicles in every circumstance also put officers and civilians in danger. I'm a big advocate of officers trying to get out of the way instead of shooting at a moving vehicle generally. But if the officer is trapped or if that moving vehicle is being used to target officers or others, deadly force may be the appropriate response, and has been repeatedly upheld as reasonable by courts, including by the Supreme Court. Finally, some of the administrative requirements discussed in this proposal, requiring a use of force continuum with descriptions of every time a police officer can use specific weapons or tactics, and requiring reporting of every use of force or threatened use of force, don't take into account the fact that there are many situations in policing that aren't clear, and that officers are already expected to make split-second decisions that are reasonable. Overly involved policies can create an atmosphere that encourages officers to act less. The saying is that no one in law enforcement gets in trouble for doing too little. While this might make We the Protesters happy, most neighborhoods and communities want proactive police work. Policies that create gotcha circumstances for officers, where officers can face discipline for reporting issues or for acting reasonably but outside of a rigid use of force continuum, makes officers' jobs more difficult. So when you hear about 8 Can't Wait, it's worth considering who is behind this initiative and the real-life trade-offs that can occur if so-called police reforms are not well thought out. My fear is that taking away tools that officers use to fight crime can breed hesitation and can make an already dangerous job even more difficult. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And if you found this video helpful, it helps YouTube show this video to more interested officers if you take the time to hit the like button below. and to hit subscribe, then use the notification bell to turn on notifications for future videos. Videos come out every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Arizona time. I'm Steve Cerbalic. Thanks for watching, and stay safe out there.